Alright guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to go over an article titled, What If Men Stopped Chasing Much Younger Women? It would benefit everyone of all ages and genders. And guys, when I saw this article, I first thought it was written by a woman basically complaining that, men go for much younger women and all that. But then I noticed it wasn't written by a woman. This article is actually written by a man. Or at least a man that was, who's biologically a man. Because I was curious and I clicked on his bio, and basically, to no surprise, this is a guy that he teaches history and, wait for it, gender studies out in California. Okay? Two big surprises there. And this whole article is this guy pretty much trying to shame men because naturally we're attracted to beautiful younger women. Okay, as I said before, men are visual creatures. We're attracted to what we see. Beautiful younger bodies, younger face, fertile, the whole 9 yards. That's just how nature designed us to be. And also, guess what? Women are biologically driven to go for the strongest, most dominant alpha males, and not to mention hypergamy, guys that can provide, and so forth, which are usually guys that are older. Okay, it happens all the time. And I get the feeling this whole article, this guy is just jealous as hell. Probably his whole life he hasn't had the opportunity to date the kind of women he wanted to, sleep with the women he wanted to, and he's bitter. And he's going to make it out that this article, he's basically saying that if men would stop doing this and date women their own age and women would do the same thing, then it would end sexism and benefit society and blah, blah, blah. But I'm willing to bet you this guy probably has a 300 or 400 pound wife at home that he's not happy with, and so he wants to hate on everybody else that's doing what he wants to do. So I'm going to go through this article here, guys. You're going to see the bullshit that he's saying here, and it's absurd. I mean, the way he's writing, you think that a woman would be writing this, but no, it's actually a guy. So, and obviously he's a male feminist or something like that. So it starts off here saying, if there's one tangible thing that men can do to help end sexism and create a healthier culture in which young people can come of age, is to stop chasing after women young enough to be their biological daughters. As hyperbolic as it may sound, there are a few more powerful actions that men can take to transform the culture than to date, mate, and stay with their approximate chronological peers. If aging guys would commit to doing this, everyone would benefit. Older men, older women, and younger women. So that's it. That's what this guy wants to try to sell you on, that this will solve all the problems of the world of sexism and all that. If basically guys would stop going for younger women. Come on here, man. Give me a fucking break. If you can do it, you go for it. Now, there are, as you're going to see in the next paragraph, he's going to give an example where it can blow up in your face, but it doesn't mean it's going to happen all the time. He says, this proposal flies in the face of everything we're taught is normal and inevitable. Take the case of Johnny Depp, who turns 50 next month. His new girlfriend, actress Amber Heard, just turned 27. Now, this article is from 2013, guys, but it's relevant for today, and that's why I chose it. And so we all know what happened with old Johnny and Amber Heard, okay? And that doesn't mean that's going to happen all the time, but, as they say, the hot crazy scale with her. But that whole thing is a big mess. His new girl, let's see here, described as acting like a besotted teenager, the thoroughly middle-aged Depp is reportedly eager to start a new family with Heard, who wasn't yet born when he made his film debut in 1984, Nightmare on Elm Street. Last year, Depp separated from his long-term girlfriend and mother of 2 children, Vanessa Paradis, shortly before she turned 40. It's just how it goes. I mean, typically when people get in their 40s, a lot of times that's when they divorce. I know a lot of people, a lot of guys, and once they got to their 40s, they were tired of it all. They just weren't happy with their lives because they often got married in their 20s when they didn't know any better. And they did the kids, the family thing, and it just didn't work. And that's when they got out in their 40s. That's a very common time. Average Joes or super rich Hollywood celebrities. Goes on. Life imitates art, as Kyle Buchanan wrote for Vulture last month. Depp is one of many aging male Hollywood stars whose on-screen love interests remain forever young. Stars like Liam Neeson and Tom Cruise age slowly, if at all, out of sex symbol status. Ours, as Buchanan documented, is a culture which represents men's sexual desirability as being as endearing as women is fleeting. It's certainly not just graying celebrities like Depp who rob that cradle. Research on the preferences of users of OkCupid, one of America's most popular dating sites, indicates that men show a decided preference for younger women, especially as the men get older. So even though men and women are more or less proportionally represented on the site, men's decided preference for much younger women makes for many fewer potential dates for women. Well, guess what? Last time I checked, women don't have a hard time attracting men. If women they take care of themselves, they keep themselves looking pretty, they work out in the gym, they eat well, they take care of their bodies, they have makeup, they take care of their skin, have their hair long, dress sexy and feminine, do their nails, the lipstick, again, looking feminine, they're not going to have a hard time getting men. I got a personal training client. I'm going to give you a perfect example, as I mentioned in the videos. She's cool. She's 52 years old. She's cool, but believe me, she is not exactly hot. I hope she doesn't see this, but she's not exactly hot. But guess what? She has plenty of guys chasing after her. Okay? She's 52. Okay? She told me in an average week, no joke, during COVID, she gets contacted by 40 to 50 guys on the different dating sites. 40 to 50, and she's 52. And she's not that good look. She's okay looking, but she's also 52. Okay? So it goes to show you that women don't have a problem. But if women actually take care of themselves, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, they're going to get guys. So don't give me this crap that this is making things so hard for women. Bullshit. And guess what? It goes both ways, because younger women generally are attracted to older men for a lot of reasons, but one of them is certainly maturity. Absolutely. Much older men are much more experienced and have much more confidence and maturity than younger guys. And of course, resources, and they're also going to have status and things like that. So don't do the whole boo-hoo on women thing. Women can get guys, okay? Trust me. Your average woman that's okay looking, up until about her late 30s, could literally hold a sign that says free pussy out in front of a bar or a club on a Friday, Saturday night, and she's going to have plenty of guys lining up for her. So come on here. But you think your average guy could do the same thing? No way. It goes on. The culturally prescribed response to stories like Depp's or that of the OkCupid data is a knowing nod. Older men chasing younger women is the tale as old as time. According to that tale, heterosexual men who have the sexual or financial cachet to do almost invariably leave their partners who aren't young enough to be their daughters for the women who are. In the popular imagination, men do this because they can, and because they presumably answer the call of evolutionary and biological imperatives that push them irresistibly towards younger women. Yeah, well, also a lot of reason guys do that in their 40s is because they've been with the same woman probably 10, 15, 20 years, had kids with her. The love is gone, if it was ever there in the marriage. The sex is probably few and far between or ever happening. She's let herself go. They have absolutely nothing to talk about anymore after all those years of marriage. It's just not fun. And the fact that typically they tend to become a bossy pain in the ass. And the guy's sick of it. So he moves on because guess what? He gets himself together, whatever happens to be, and he moves on for a second chance, a clean slate, which I urge all you guys to do if you're watching this now and you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, or whatever, and you're unhappy, there's no love in the marriage, there's no sex or hardly any of it, and you're just sick of it. I urge you to get out because life is short. Enjoy yourself for the remaining years that you have. Plenty of guys do it, and I urge you to do it too. This is a channel to help men and help men be happy. But dickheads like this is just trying to shame you guys for doing what's best for you and doing what's natural. Continues. By contrast, the contemporary hype about cougars and pumas revolves around smaller age disparities. A recent CNN story focused on the supposedly outrageous novelty of women in their 20s and 30s dating men an average of 3 years younger than themselves. When it comes to intergenerational romances with age gaps sufficiently large that one partner could be the biological parent of the other, the course of true love remains maddeningly unidirectional. Well, guess what? Also, you have a lot of women that are in their 40s and 50s, and they date a lot of guys that are much younger because the younger guys are really attracted to these hot-looking MILFs and cougars. They're in their 40s and 50s that really work hard, take care of themselves. And these women, they're having a good time hooking up with younger dudes in their 20s, maybe early 30s. And I say, if they're happy, if the women that are older, but they're in great shape and look hot, the cougars, they're having a great time, they're happy, and the young guys hooking up with them are happy, then cool. Everybody's happy. Who the fuck cares? Stop judging. But guys like this are always going to judge. You're always going to have people in this world that are going to judge. And basically, guys in life, you got to do what makes you happy. Okay? I guarantee you guys, if you are in your 40s and 50s and you're dating women that are 15, 20 years younger than you, you're going to have people that are going to judge you. Oftentimes, and there's a reason for that, you're going to have women that are going to judge you because they're pissed off and bitter that either their husbands left them for the same reason, or they're pissed off because they don't want you to give bad ideas to their husbands they're trying to hold on to. Or you're going to get guys that are going to be jealous and bitter because they can't do what you do, you know, or they don't have balls to leave a shitty relationship or marriage. You know, they're just fearful, so they just want to hate on you. It's going to happen. Trust me on this. Goes on. What seems harmless and natural, however, is neither. A culture in which older men value younger women more than their own female peers does damage to everyone. This guy is definitely jealous. This guy is definitely hell-bent on showing that his way is right and everybody else is wrong. Guy's a Puritan. Goes on. I'm not talking about the harm inflicted by, and I can't say this word, guys, but pedophiles. You can figure out what I'm talking about here. On preteen girls, which is both monstrous and a given. I'm not talking about the vile street harassment of adolescents by older men, which is also as toxic as is infuriatingly ubiquitous. This is about the way in which younger women come of age surrounded by reminders that they are at their most desirable when they are still the most uncertain and insecure. Some young women are attracted to older men for a host of possible reasons, but even these find too many men who are in the end deeply unsafe. Too many men deeply unsafe? I have news for you. Most guys out there are good guys that are not unsafe. What a load of crap. It's not just women who lose out as a consequence of this fixation on the older man. Younger women, ideal. Ask women in their teens and 20s who are in relationships with older men about guys their own age, and you'll invariably hear laments about young men's immaturity. That callousness is often oversold by too many aging Lotharios wanting to emphasize the difference between their own supposed expertise and young men's clumsiness. The reality is that just as many young women grow up too quickly as a result of older men's attraction. Many young men grow up too slowly because of lack of it. If men over 40 spend half as much time mentoring guys under 30 as they do chasing women in that age bracket, more young men might prove excellent partners to their female peers. Well, I'm here trying to help young guys better themselves in so many ways, and as a side benefit to those ways bettering themselves, can attract women that they want. But at the end of the day, you're going to have young women in their 20s, and a lot of them like guys that are older. It is very common to have a woman 25 and up dating a guy who's in his 30s. Very common. But also you can have women that age dating guys in their 40s. A lot of women like it. And again, yes, without a shadow of a doubt, resources and money definitely come into play. But guess what? Also, it's maturity. Because guys when they're younger are much more immature compared to women their own age. That is an absolute fact, whether you like hearing it or not, okay? I'm just stating that, okay? I was immature in my early 20s and in mid-20s in so many ways. It took me a while to grow up. I'm being honest here. And a lot of guys are like that. There are exceptions, but women also want a guy who's mature. And also, guess what? When guys are older, not only do they have the resources and money, they also have the maturity, but they also have a lot more confidence in who they are, life experience. And that way then they're better leaders and they can help lead the relationship, and the girl can basically just show up and look hot and go along for the ride. That's what a lot of them want. Because a lot of younger guys don't have that experience. But again, making us out to be the villains, making us be the villains for going for the younger women, and making the women the villains for going for older guys, come on here. You know, I got to wonder again, what happened to this guy? This guy, does he have a 300-pound wife at home that he's miserable with and he's hating on guys? Could he not get the type of women he wanted when he was younger? Maybe his dad left when he was younger, went for a younger woman? I don't know, but something's up here. There's just too much bitterness and disdain here in this article. He just happens to write this. People have things pushing. People have agendas that usually motivate things like this. But as I said, guys, you do these things, you're gonna have haters. But fuck them. You're happy. Enjoy your happiness. Goes on. Many people who concede that older men's obsession with younger women is disillusioning and destabilizing insist that the sexual choices of men like Johnny Depp are driven by natural imperatives. That's not quite what science shows. Research on age-disparate relationships does find a biological case for older men choosing slightly younger women. A 2007 study of 11,000 Swedes found that the most fecund men were those with partners 6 years younger than themselves. The strategic reproductive benefit of choosing a younger woman diminished as the age gap widened. According to the science, Depp was better matched with Paradis, 9 years his junior, than the new girlfriend. So if older men aren't pursuing much younger women because of the evolutionary hardwiring, why do they? It's hard not to conclude that much of the appeal is about the hope of finding someone less demanding. A man in his 40s who wants to date women in their 20s is making the same calculation as the man who pursues a mail-order bride. What a load of shit. From a country with less egalitarian values. It's about the mistaken assumption that younger women will be more malleable. Men who chase younger women aren't eroticizing firmer flesh as much as they are a pre-feminist fantasy of a partner who is endlessly starry-eyed and appreciative. That is the one benefit of a younger woman in her 20s or so, is that she generally is more appreciative. And she isn't, at least, some of them aren't as bad. They haven't been influenced thanks to the you-know-what movement. But typically what happens is a lot of women, when they get old, they get married, they get older, all of a sudden become feminists later on. And I know a number of women have done this. And the guys are like, who the hell's this? Who's this woman I married? What happened to the fun, appreciative, easygoing, low-key, girly woman that I married, and now she's this ball-busting feminist? It happens a lot. One of my friend's wives, it happened to her. And their marriage has gone to shit. But he doesn't have the balls to do anything about it. And she's miserable. And it all happened in 2016. And we all know what happened in 2016. Goes on. The dead giveaway comes when you ask middle-aged men why they prefer to date younger. Almost invariably, you'll hear complaints that their female peers are too entitled, too embittered, and too feminist. What'd I just say? It happens. One of the basic rules of tennis applies here. If you want to improve your skills, you need to play with someone who is at minimum your own age level. No, if you want to improve your skills in tennis or any other sport or anything in life, you play with somebody that's better than you. Okay? He's trying to use this that you should be basically somebody your own age. Give up, dude. You're not convincing us. As sophisticated as a 20-something may be, she will be more so with a more exquisite bullshit detector in her 40s. When older men date much younger women, they cheat themselves out of the opportunity to be matched with a partner with the maturity to see them as they really are. Depression. The research shows peaks for men in their mid to late 40s. In the face of statistics like those, middle-aged men can't afford to choose partners who lack the life experience to provide the right kind of challenge. My dad was 45 years old when he started dating my mom, who was 21 years old. He was in a marriage, and he had a bunch of kids, and it just started off good, as they all do, and guess what? It got bad, and he was miserable, and finally he got out. And guess what? When he got out, he was in his early 40s. What did I tell you about the 40s? And he was a bachelor for a while, and then he met my mom, and she was 21 years old. And even though there was a 24-year gap in age between them, he had a great time with her. And yes, she was appreciative. And she challenged him intellectually because she's a very smart woman and all that. And they had a great marriage and great life together. And I was very fortunate to grow up in a household like that. So guess what? This whole idea that, oh, no, they got to be same age to match each other and be equal and all that shit, what a load of crap. Again, this guy's fucking bitter. And he wants everybody else to live like him. There's no shortage of guys. There's no shortage of people in this world that are going to try to get you to live the way they think you need to live. Don't let them stop you. You do what you want to do. It makes you happy for your life, okay? Trust me. Most people are sheep and they're going to cave to the other's demands. You can't do that. And dickheads like this, he's trying to mold and get people to live the life the way he thinks they should live. If the older man, younger woman dynamic is less natural and more destructive than we imagine, how then to respond to couples that make that dynamic work? Like my parents did. Well, I've written about this subject in the past. I'm invariably challenged by young women with boyfriends their father's age, demanding that I stop judging their love. I always reply that it's possible to wish individuals well while still critiquing the context in which those individuals make their choices. What an asshole. Oh, God. This guy needs an ass kicking. It's like attending the wedding of a couple that gets together as the result of an affair. One can wish them happiness without endorsing what led them there. Going to a wedding with a couple that started because of an affair and causing others harm and all that, compared to a guy and a girl that got together and the guy's much older, that's not even the same ballpark. That's not the same thing. But this guy's trying to do this and make it negative. I'm not proposing that we shame every age disparate couple. Yes, you are. That's what this whole article is about, him trying to shame people. Bullshit. I am proposing that we challenge heterosexual middle-aged men to direct their sexual and romantic energies to their female peers. Everyone, older men, older women, younger women, will reap the paradigm-shifting benefits. Yeah, go fuck yourself. This guy's full of shit. Like I said, he's bitter, he's angry, he's jealous, and he wants the world to be according to the way he thinks it should be. And I'm willing to bet if somebody dug and found out his deal, this guy's bitter for some things that happened to him, and now he wants everybody else to live their lives according to him. Guys, you live life according to what makes you happy and gives you joy and pleasure. So long as it isn't harming anybody else, physically, mentally, emotionally, psychologically. Okay, but I want to go through this article here to show you the bullshit that is out there, and people like him. And big surprise, like I told you, he's a teacher of gender studies in California of all places. So what does that show you? But guys, do what you want to do, what makes you happy. Fuck everybody else, but just be aware people are gonna try to shame you and look down on you. Who gives a shit? Okay, life is short. Trust me, it goes by like this. If you're young in your 20s, believe me, enjoy yourself, do what makes you happy, but also understand with regards to this article, yes, guess what? Older men are attracted to younger women. That's just how it is. And younger women are attracted to older men. But guess what? Everybody gets something, because right now it's so common that you have a lot of women that are older, 40s and 50s, the cougars. And guess what? They're not exactly left out in the cold either, because guess what? If they take care of themselves, they look good, they work out in the gym, they look sexy, they stay feminine, all that, they attract a lot of younger guys, because the younger guys like hooking up with the older women. So everybody can be happy here. But anyhow, so, all right, guys, that is it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Let me know what you think about this author and what he has to say about this. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.